Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. It is your girl, Wildflower Tea, and today we're talking about all of the latest tea when it comes to the situation between Gwendolyn Brown and the infamous Without a Crystal Ball, aka Kody Joy. Now, if you guys, I'm going to turn to the chat in a second and say hello to everybody. But if you guys do not know about this situation, buckle in because this is another example of the hypocrisy and just the denial. That's really what it is. Katie Joy finds a way almost every single time to find some type of loophole to be sneaky. You know what I mean? And she thinks she can talk herself out of things, and it just doesn't work like that, girl. It just does not work like that. So we're going to talk about this. I have many thoughts, and I want to know what you guys think about this situation as well, because not only do I think it's very sneaky, but again, she tells on herself. Her character and the patterns of this woman, Katie Joy, is just out of this world. Not, some things never change. In my last live stream, we were talking about her response to Dustin Daly and her long novel that she left him. And I haven't been keeping up with this woman. It's a lot. You guys know, if you have followed the many things that Katie Joy has done throughout the years, you know, like, it's a lot. So I've kind of fell off for a while. And I also, in my last live stream, I kind of gave Katie Joy the benefit of the doubt and said, well, I think that she's learned some lessons here. You know, she's not as messy as she once was, maybe getting in all the drama, going through all the stuff that she's went through, the lawsuits, the creator arguments, the drama, the community that calls her out on her bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's a lot. There's thousands of people at this point that follows this woman, and the constant contradictions and hypocrisy of this woman. And there's a reason for that. It didn't happen overnight. It's after years of horrible behavior and getting away with doing some really defamatory things to people. So when I woke up and seen that Gwendolyn Brown called her out on her Patreon, y'all, oh, I was here for it. I was here for it. So here is the post. And then I'm going to say hello to everybody before we get into this little clip that I want to share with y'all. But this is what Gwendolyn put over on her Patreon. And Katie Joy reported on this past week as well. But as you can see, and I'll show y'all she shared a little screenshot with it of Katie Joy and her BS that she was doing. But Gwendolyn said, just complaining / gossiping. Katie Joy blocked me on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. Otherwise, I would call her out. But instead, I'm going to not be the bigger person, in parentheses, though I feel like I am being the bigger person by not writing 10 articles like she would. She blocked me because she's a coward, proceeds to block me after she said she'd never share anything from the Patreon and clearly lied. Anyway, this is a official Katie Joy hate page. Love, unless you're Katie Joy, Gwendolyn. Y'all, this gave me life. This was everything. When this popped up the other day, I did. I relished in it. Because this is what happens. Again, this is a pattern. This isn't the first reality TV star to call Katie Joy out. Katie Joy wants to be taken as a journalist, but just like in this lawsuit with 7M Films, 7M called her on her ish too recently, and they're saying that she's not a journalist, she's not a reporter. Depends on what day of the week it is. Sometimes Katie wants to be seen as a reporter, other days she's a journalist. But the problem is she doesn't hold herself to the standards that someone who is a journalist or a reporter would hold to. There's no standards, there's no morals there. There's a code of ethics in that line of business, and Katie Joy just doesn't follow them. In my opinion, and that's all of this is my opinion, I believe Katie Joy is willing to throw whoever she needs to under the bus to get her way, to get on top. I believe she's proved that many times throughout her quote unquote career. She just wants to be on top. And it doesn't matter who she has to take down, it doesn't matter what she has to expose, how many ways she has to, it does, none of it matters as long as she is successful and as long as she gets on top. And this has backfired on her several many different ways. So before we get into it, I do want to pop up this disclaimer and just say that everything I say in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. Please do not be a petty Betty and send hate to anyone mentioned in this video. We just got to talk about this one, y'all, for sure. And also, I need to add this to this, but please do your own research as well about any topics that I cover, especially Kody Joy, because I will warn you, it's a rabbit hole, but it's definitely worth looking into. It definitely is. So with that being said, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, what's up, everybody? Hey, Gina. Hey, Tammy. How are you? I cut her off. I quit without a crystal ball. Me too. Me too. I did too. I just recently kind of fell back into this rabbit hole, you guys, because recently it feels like she's getting back into a lot of her, she's grabbing back into her little bag of tricks. You know what I mean? And it probably never stopped. I know so many of you have followed her. She's probably been doing this. I just feel like she got more sneaky about it. She was getting away with it more recently in the last year. She's not been in as many dramas, in as many things. She's became a little bit more sneaky with the way that she does things, or so it seems. And sure, I know she's got the lawsuit with 7M Films. I know there's little things that happens, but it did seem there for a while that it was a daily basis, you guys. I don't know if any of y'all remember, but it very much felt like on a daily basis, this woman was in the middle of some ish, and she was constantly responding to things and trying to defend herself and making matters worse and coming on and doing these, like, in my opinion, allegedly drunken live streams that just did not paint her in a good light whatsoever. And I don't know, I feel like she's been doing less of those, but I could definitely be wrong. It probably is just that I don't follow her as closely anymore. But when I seen this, I was like, we got to talk about it. If Gwendolyn's popping off at Kody Joy, we're talking about that. And it gets pretty deep. Like, this is a pretty dark situation. Kody Joy takes advantage of people, man, and it's just not cool. Hey, Cruz. I don't know if I said hey to Cindy, but hello. Hey, Nikki. Thank y'all for being here. How's everybody's weekend going? I hope y'all are having a good one. Sorry I'm not on camera tonight, y'all. I look a hella mess, and you know, it's been a week, so but I appreciate y'all for being here. I genuinely do. Hey, Zuna, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so this post comes out. Gwendyln puts this over on her Patreon. Then Kody Joy decides that she's going to report on it and defend herself because that is what she does best. But I genuinely feel, hey, Kathy, that every time Kody Joy speaks out, it only makes her look worse. And this situation is no exception. We are going to read the post. I'm going to pause and read these because I do think context is very important in these situations. Kody Joy has a way to report on things that are so personal. And it's not just like reality TV, right? She goes deep with these families, with sister wives, Duggars, all of these families. It becomes very, very, very personal. And she shares information that's based off of her opinion, but makes it come out very matter-of-factly. She does it in a way where you believe that she's a reporter by the way that she speaks and that she must be telling the truth, right? Like, this has to be true, but it's not. It's just her opinion. And that's why she's found herself, in my personal opinion, in so many different defamation lawsuits, because you can't put content out like that so matter-of-factly and be like, this is the situation, when it's not really the situation. It's just your opinion, your speculation. And that is what Kody Joy, 90% of Kody Joy's content is speculation on these shows and different families that she follows. Then there's, of course, the cult aspect of it, because as most of you probably know, Kody Joy loves to report on cults and talk about religious things and politics. Like she loves to have those controversial conversations, and she loves to speculate on what this person believes and what this person does, and she'll get tidbits of information here and there and make up her own story with it. And it's disgusting already. It really is. So we're going to react, and I am going to be pausing it so we can read some different things from this little clip that I got. This is the first time I've done it this way, so I hope it works. But let me go ahead and pop it up. I already have it ready to go. And this is just about a 4-minute clip that I wanted to react and talk with you guys from. And I will link this original video down below as well after the live stream. But it's Kody Joy's video where she's defending herself and saying, well, I didn't take any content from Gwendolyn's Patreon. But you did, though, girl. But you did, and you lied. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna break it apart. So let me go ahead and mute myself.
Gwen shared a comment that I posted on her Patreon when I was still there until January, that I would not share anything from her content.
Okay, let me make this full so that you guys can see it. And I'm going to pop it up on my phone here and just read this full thing. It is not the best quality, and she's moving the screen as well. So I'm going to read it out loud to you guys because I do think this is important. So Kody Joy had made this post in Gwendolyn's Patreon. So she joined the Patreon and she said, hey, everyone, I'm Kody Joy from Without a Crystal Ball, and I will not be sharing any videos from this Patreon, nor would ever share details. This is Gwen's space. I contacted her via DM. So she went the extra mile, you guys. She didn't just make this post in the Patreon to make it clear that she would not do this, but she reached out to Gwendolyn in the DMs to let her know that she was there and that she knows that I'm here in peace. I'm like all of you, very excited for the kids finding their voices. The only video I made was a public live from TikTok with her friend Sarah. I'm not connected to any other YouTubers and can only speak for myself, but will not share content from behind a paywall. I do know that multiple media outlets reported on screenshots that ended up on Reddit from here. Showbiz Cheat Sheet has an article on those messages up. I do not work for them. I'm proud of Gwen for her amazing journey and using her voice. Okay, so she posted this in Gwen's Patreon. It says 8 months ago, but I think Kody says this was back in January. And the issue I have with this, because the reason Gwen blocked her and made this post that she made is because Kody Joy lied. She went and she leaked very private, very personal information about the family that Gwen had shared in the Patreon. And we're going to read that as well. And then she goes and tries to blame it on all these other places, all these other outlets, all these other articles. Well, they reported it. I got it from them. But she tells on herself. She went the extra mile to make sure she got that information. And this post right here was like damage control. Kody Joy, in my personal opinion, Kody Joy knew when she joined the Patreon that she was going to leak information, that she was going to have these conversations on her Facebook, her Instagram, wherever she wanted, right? She knew that when she joined. That's why she made this post in the Patreon to try to cover her tracks and say, well, stuff may get leaked, but it's not going to be from me. I don't work with any of those people. I don't know any of those YouTubers, all of this stuff, right? And she thought that this would clear her name, so to speak. Now, to the side here, this is so small. I know you guys can't see it well, but to the side here is the message that she shared on Facebook. And Gwendyln shared both of these on her Patreon thing. But it says, and this is something she shared, I believe, on her Facebook. If I'm not mistaken, but she does correct it. I think she says in this video, but it says, so she makes this post for the Patreon, and then she shares this information. This is y'all. It's disgusting, number one. And I know that she gets her kicks out of sharing things like this, very personal things like this about these families. And I find it very disgusting. This is number one, very personal stuff about their family. That's not really anybody's business, in my personal opinion. But I just can see Katie Joy's face when she gets this information. I know she gets so giddy, in my opinion. I know she gets so giddy and says, ooh, I can't wait to share this. I can't wait to expose this. This is so no, girl, this is not it. So it says, Gwendyln Brown, let me make this bigger. Okay. Gwendyln Brown uploaded her videos from Patreon to YouTube yesterday. And this was posted May 7th. So she posted this first post in the Patreon in January. And then on May 7th, she posts this. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure to clarify that this was after. Gwendyln Brown uploaded her videos from Patreon to YouTube yesterday. On Patreon, she provided no editing or captions. On YouTube, she posted a caption, "You'll never know where it's buried," where she discussed Kody and Christine burying a miscarried baby boy in their backyard under a lot of rocks. Gwendyln also edited out the part that would have exposed the white supremacy beliefs of the church regarding spirit babies. On Patreon, she shared that Christine and Kody told Aspen that the baby they miscarried was actually meant for Aspen. This admission made some Patreons uncomfortable, as some thought they were implying Kody would have a baby with Aspen, which is their child. I know most of you guys know that, but y'all, this is disgusting. It's hard to even read this. And I know that she enjoyed every minute of posting this, and it's sick to me. This is not what Gwendyln meant, though. You can learn more about their beliefs in the previous post I made on this topic. So she was continuing to talk about this and going into more detail about their beliefs and how it all works with the spirit babies and all of these things. It's an interesting part of her commentary that is deleted from her YouTube upload. Gwendyln has hidden stuff from the public before. On Patreon, she accused Kody of physical abuse, but in the same video that she uploaded to YouTube said nothing about Kody's alleged abuse of her as a child. So with this one particular instance, just this is horrible. I agree. She is playing games. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's playing games. And TLC, yeah, it's awful. Hey, Tira. So yeah, this is just awful. Who shares this kind of information, number one? And number two, after just a couple months before, you literally said, hey, I'm not going to share any information about your Patreon. I'm not here for that. I'm just a viewer like you guys. I just am so excited to support Gwen and be here as she finds her own voice. And then you're going to go and make a post like this. And it very much feels like a betrayal. You know what I mean? So I understand why Gwendyln would be upset about this, because it's disgusting. Katie Joy went out of her way, privately messaged her, made a post in the Patreon or comment in the Patreon, all of this stuff to be like, hey, I come in peace. I'm here with no ill will. I'm just here to support. And then you go and you post some ish like that. That is disgusting. And I, again, genuinely believe that Katie Joy loved every stinking minute, hey Shiloh, of posting that on her Facebook. I believe that. But let's continue. I just wanted to read these for context. I tried to contrast it so you guys could read it for yourself because the quality is not the best. And I think Katie Joy did that on purpose as well so that people couldn't read this and see just how bad it is. So not only did she report on this, and I think it's absolutely disgusting the things she reported on, but also it's just, it gives me a yucky feeling. Everything to do with this woman, y'all, for real, gives me such an ick feeling when it comes to things like this because she will go so far. It just doesn't even matter. But I do think context is important. And I will try to post some better quality because I've been playing around with it on my community posts. So if you guys do follow me or are subscribed to my channel, check out the community post after this live because I'm going to try to play with the photos so you guys can see them better. Or if anyone has better quality photos, let me know. You can email me or contact me on social media, whatever works best for you. But either way, this is very, very disgusting. And when I seen, yeah, it's so sick. It's so sick, Kat. It's sick. It's sick, not to take away from the situation. She made it out like they buried a full-term baby in their yard when that wasn't an accurate representation, wow, of the situation per Gwen's own words. Hey, Raining on your charade, how are you? Yes, she's miserable. Like, this is awful. This is awful. And to want to share this like it's some tea. This is no one's business. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like, I know they're public figures. I know they're very controversial, their beliefs. Like, there's a lot of things I understand, but this is so personal and it's no one's business. And if Gwen wants to share bits and pieces of her life on her Patreon, that's something that should, in my personal opinion, be protected. And I think that any journalist or reporter going in there with malicious intent to leak her content, I think that's disgusting. I also think it's disgusting Katie Joy goes in here and makes this post and she name drops Cheat Sheet, Showbiz, all these people that are leaking it, right? She points the fingers at them. They're the bad guys. They're the bad guys, you guys. Go give them hate. I'm here with no malicious intent. And then you're going to go and do something like that. It's disgusting. And her excuse on why it's okay is even more disgusting. So I'm going, yes, so sick in the head. I agree. I agree. Everyone is entitled to privacy and some things should not be shared only by the person themselves. Yeah, I agree. And how much they're willing to share and how much they're comfortable in sharing. Not everything is a news article or a breaking story, nor should it be. Nor should it be. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and mute and let's keep playing this because I could rant about this alone for so long. No joke.
And I didn't. And then she shared a second post from my Instagram or from my Facebook page, I believe from May. And that was literally from me finding stuff on TikTok. People had posted about her mom and the spirit babies and the baby that was buried in the backyard and her dad putting rocks on top of it. I wasn't even in her Patreon when she posted that. Someone on TikTok posted that and I grabbed it and watched it and then talked about it on my Facebook page.
What is wrong with her? That doesn't make it any better, Katie Joy. I didn't do this. It wasn't when I was a part of the Patreon. I went and actively seeked it out on TikTok when someone else was talking about it and got it from there because I thought that would be so much better. No, there's no loophole. There's no excuse. This is disgusting. Any way you flip it and flop it. And I think it's disgusting if that person did it, whoever she's talking about, if they did it and Katie Joy got it from them, it doesn't matter how she got it. The fact is she got it, and it was private content that you had to pay for, and she leaked it. That's the point. It's personal information that only those closest that pay for that content even gets. And Katie Joy took that publicly, probably added her own spin to it, because you guys know how she does things. She puts her own little spin to everything. She speculates the house. She does the most, and broke a story with it. It doesn't matter how you got it, Katie Joy. It genuinely does not matter. None of that matters. And she says this with so much affirmation as if it makes it better. And again, in my personal opinion, it just makes her sound worse. Worse that you're even going to sit here and try to make excuses for this. It's disgusting. What if this is the problem too. Katie Joy always wants to play like, I have a community that hates me and they do the most and they go real life and they look up information on my family. I agree. There has been people who have done horrible things to her and her family, and they have put out information that I don't agree with. But it's another one of those situations where it's like, she does this to people all the time. But then when it gets done to her, she wants to cry about it and play victim, and everyone feels sorry for her. But she does it to other people all the time. And I genuinely do feel like, I've said it 1,000 times before, but I do believe in karma. And I believe that you get what you put out in this world in tenfold. And I do believe that that's what it is when these things happen to her, because she has done this to people for so long and actively still doing this to people. And it's disgusting. Hey, Triple Threat, how are you? I'm glad you're here and you're not late. I've not been on just a few minutes. As a new producer, I find it offensive that Katie Joy calls herself a journalist. While she has no ethics or boundaries, get some integrity. She knew it was behind a paywall. Absolutely. Again, upon her own admission, she knew. Upon her own admission, she knew. And this is not, it's not okay. But let's listen to Katie Joy as she continues to make more excuses. You guys ready? I agree, Triple Threat.
And on my Instagram. So I wasn't even in her Patreon for the example she's using. Stuff was getting leaked onto Reddit. So there's people on Reddit that were posting from her Patreon. And then I would report sometimes if things got posted onto Reddit, as did many other outlets. And then also TikTok creators were posting her videos, which that video I shared you in the beginning is from her Patreon that she posted before it went onto her YouTube channel. And I found that on TikTok. So I didn't actually take anything directly from her Patreon. I actually found things on TikTok and on Reddit. Or Showbuzz Cheat Sheet. So Showbuzz Cheat Sheet has a reporter that's a patron of hers that also had been reporting on stuff ahead of time from her Patreon. So if they were reporting something, I might report it from there. But directly to go from her Patreon, no. And I actually haven't been in her Patreon since January. So again, just a weird thing for her to bring up. Second, I don't have her blocked on any platform. I don't know why she would say that, because first of all, I got blocked from her Patreon, so I can't talk to her on Patreon because she's blocked me. Next, I've been blocked by Gwen on my Instagram probably for 2 years. And I searched this morning on my Facebook page and she blocked me.
Yeah, she blocked you. What do you mean? Of course she blocked you. I am glad she blocked you. You should be blocked on everywhere. I don't know if there's an option to be able to approve. I don't have Patreon, but if there's an option to block people from Patreon as well, yeah, I would definitely do that if I was Gwendyln. And a lot of these reality TV stars, any of the Duggars, any of the Sister Wives people, because Katie Joy has, like someone just said, she has no number one, boundaries. She doesn't respect boundaries, no morals, no integrity, again, in my personal opinion. And if she does have any, they're very slim. I have not seen her utilize any since I've known of her. And it's y'all, it's too much. So of course she blocked you. And you see how she again sits here and tries to put the blame on all these other outlets. Well, they did it, and I just took the information from them, right? I'm telling you guys, this was all set up when she made the post that she made in the Patreon and said something then. She already had it set up how she was going to do this because she named the exact same people, Cheat Sheet, Showbiz. She knew that she was going to do this. God, that's funny. That's a little funny. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Um, but for real, this is just a, and to hear her try to talk like in circles around it and explain why it's okay that she did this, again, in my opinion, it just makes her look so much worse. So I wanted to share this with y'all. It's so just this woman, she never ceases to amaze me. It only matters if someone else posted it. It doesn't matter if someone else posted it first. It doesn't make it right. Absolutely. If something's wrong, it's wrong. If something's wrong, it's wrong. And she knew that it was going to be a problem. She knew it was wrong. And again, I believe her making the post, reaching out privately, that's the thing with Katie Joy is she shows a lot of intent behind the things she does. So to them play as if you didn't do anything wrong and you didn't, take someone's trust and lie to them and do all these things. The intent shows otherwise. You intentionally reached out to her privately to say you wouldn't do this. You made a whole post about it. And then a couple of months later, you turned right around, found a loophole so that you could do the very thing that you personally told Gwendyln and everyone in her Patreon that you would not do. It doesn't matter where you got it from, you know where it came from. That's the problem. So you lied. You did lie. And Gwendyln has every right to be upset. It doesn't matter if you got it from TMZ or this place or none of that matters. You knew it was wrong when those people did it. So why would you jump on that bandwagon when I didn't see Cheat Sheet or Showbiz? I didn't see them reaching out to Gwendyln privately and saying, hey, we won't leak anything and making posts in her Patreon. They didn't do all that. It doesn't make it right. I'm not saying that it makes it right. But when you weigh it, it's like Katie Joy went out of her way to say she would not do this. That's why people don't take her seriously. Like she went out of her way to lie so that Gwendyln would trust her just so she could break her trust and put out information that was private and behind a paywall. And it's wrong. It's so wrong. Yeah, two wrongs definitely don't make a right. I agree. I can't hate too much though. When she tried to get me fired at the news, I actually got a recognition from our director and an award for the segment she complained about. That is awesome, Kat. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Good for you. See, good things do come out of, and I can't hate on it either because I have met some pretty incredible people from just even knowing who this woman is and covering her many lies and contradictions and so much. It opened the door to so much for me in commentary. So I can't hate on her either. You know what I mean? Like really. Um, she, as much as she loves to try to say she's made people and everyone talks about her and that's this and all the things that she loves to say, girl, you do so much for people to talk about, and I talk about 10% of it, if that 10% of the things that this girl does, so whatever, talk your ish.
And I'm not blocked by her. Like I didn't block her. So she's got me blocked from my Facebook page, my Without a Crystal Ball. She has me blocked on Instagram, and she has me blocked on Patreon. So I don't really know why she's saying that I blocked her, and why she can't confront me, because if she does want to talk to me, she can certainly reach out to me. I definitely didn't block her. It would be really weird if I blocked people that I actually follow and report on. But
Okay, so just a little note here. Katie Joy has done that. Katie Joy loves to block people on social media that she reports on, people that mention her in passing, people who don't agree with her. She loves to block people. Everyone knows it. It's something another thing that she's very famous for is blocking people. I always tried to be very professional in my coverage of her back when I really talked about her mess and all the things that she would do. And I even try to give her the benefit of the doubt multiple different occasions. And I'll never forget, like one of the first times I ever talked about her, I talked about her one time, and it was with the Tati Westbrook stuff and her going after Dustin Daly and Nick Snyder and all of these people, doing the most, threatening them with lawsuits, all the things she did. If you guys have been around long enough, you know she did the most. And I talked about it and I said, I think she's doing the most. Basically, that's basically what I said. I was blocked the next day, y'all. I remember I went to go look because I used to try to keep up with her Twitter. Blocked. She blocks people all the time. And yes, even people that she covers, if they rebuttal in any way and call her out and say, you're wrong for this, she blocks them. So to sit here and be like, oh, it would be weird if I did that. Girl, you do that. So I guess it's weird. It is weird that you do that. How is what she doing any different than buying stolen merchandise? If you know something was stolen and you go along with it, you're just as guilty. Good point, Chula. Good point. You're not wrong. You're very true. Very true. Very true. Let's see. Being the bigger person always wins in the end. I think so. I think so. And I think that it may take time sometimes, but I agree. It may not happen overnight. Things have to play out, whatever. But in the end, the truth always prevails. The truth always comes out, and it is what it is. And with Katie Joy, we've seen it happen on multiple occasions where she lies or she screws someone over. Someone trusted her with information and she ran to her platform. This is not the first time she's done this. And I know it's not going to be the last, but it's also why she finds herself in these lawsuits all the stinking time, because she just doesn't stop. She doesn't stop and she never learns. And it is frustrating. It is frustrating.
I'm responding to this because people keep saying, why did you block Gwen? I didn't. Again, she blocked me, and I don't know why she's bringing this up in July. So I haven't been in her Patreon since January.
Girl, Katie, are you sure that's what people are asking you? Are you sure that's why you're responding to this? I don't believe that. I think she's lying there. I think people have been saying you're a liar. I think people are calling her out on it and saying that you lied. Why would people be asking, did Gwen block you? I mean, sure, maybe a couple of people, but I highly doubt that that's the reason she's acknowledging this. I'm sorry. I do not believe that. I believe that people have been calling her out and saying, hey, you lied. This was wrong. That you went to these desperate measures to say you wouldn't do something, and then you turn around and done it. And then when you read it, the context of it all, and just how personal and just awful it is, it just makes it that much worse, to be honest. But it's wrong, even if it was something very bare minimal information, it's wrong either way. But the context definitely makes it worse, in my personal opinion, you know? So again, I seriously doubt that that's the reason that people are calling her out and asking questions. Very doubtful to me. Do not believe that.
literally. And I haven't reported really anything about specifically Gwen in a few months because she's watching the older seasons and like seasons 1 and seasons 2. And I just kind of stopped watching her reaction videos because the older content, the older shows, there's not like a ton that she would be able to add in commentary that would be relevant to what's happening to her family today. And I just kind of got fatigued on watching every single week her react to her family show. I'm not blocked on YouTube, so I can access.
Okay. No one really cares what fatigues you. Obviously, Gwendolyn has found success from speaking and using her voice, which you seem to be all for and supportive of in her Patreon on that post about Gwen finding her voice. And if that is how she chooses to find her voice, is by reacting to old episodes from previous early on seasons, then good for her. Whatever, however she wants to do it. And again, she's found a lot of success in that. There are hundreds of thousands of people who tune in for those episodes and to hear what Gwendolyn has to say. Because up until she started doing that, not many of the kids, the Sister Wives kids, really have spoken out a lot. I know Peyton has from time to time. He's had quite a bit to say. But on the regular, they're very silent. So people do care to hear what Gwendolyn has to say. And I don't know anyone who cares to know that that makes you fatigue. It's not about you. So again, it's like she just puts in these little jabs and these little, like, there was no sense in saying that. You know what I mean? She said that to be hurtful. She said that as much as she started this video out stating, I have no problems with Gwendolyn and I'm not mad at her. Girl, you have no reason to be mad at her. What do you mean you have no? She has a reason to be mad at you. She's so entitled, you guys. It drives me bonkers. Drives me bonkers. Okay, girl, hope you have a good night. I'm totally supportive. It's about time she earned some money from her story since she has not been paid for her time on the show. I agree. I agree. That's another thing about this that's really sad to me. And I'm happy for her. If this is, she's making a little bit of money from it, she is having a good time with it. She's also being allowed to vocalize how she's felt in the process of all of this happening. And I love them. I don't get to catch every single one, but I love, like, whenever I ain't got nothing going on, I'll go back and I'll check it out. We've reported on a few of them here. Um, because sometimes she does say things that I find very interesting, and just hearing her perspective as someone who had to live through this and witnessed all of this firsthand, you know, it is interesting to me. And I love hearing what she has to say. And again, so does hundreds of thousands of other people. So Katie Joy's opinion doesn't matter. And it just feels like a unnecessary jab. Like she said that to try to hurt Gwen's feelings. You know, that was all that was about, in my personal opinion, was to try to just say something snarky and hurtful. I think the Duggars and Sister Wives kids have taken the high road to the point of sainthood. I agree. I hope they sue her. She crossed the line over and over again. I do too. I've been waiting for the day. And I know that they're large families, large franchises. Katie Joy isn't the only person that covers them and says some of the things, but I do think she hits a personal level with all of her coverage that I've never seen. Again, just my personal perspective and opinion, I've never seen a reporter or journalist really go to those levels without proof. When you share something that personal, you have to have context and proof to back it up. And that's the problem I have with Katie Joy is she shares a lot of information without receipts, and we're just supposed to believe her. That's not how it works, girl. That's not how it works. And also, like I said, depending on what day of the week it is, Katie Joy is a commentary channel who is just a mom who likes to express herself. Whenever she's trying to make people feel bad for her, she'll say, I'm just someone who likes to watch these shows and talk about it and give my opinions and express myself. I'm just a mom, right? Just like me. Like, that's what I always say. I'm nothing special. I'm just like you guys. I literally am just a viewer of these shows and channels, and I come on here and I talk about it. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. You don't have to be a professional. But then when she wants to try to like get away with something, that's when she'll pull the reporter or journalist card. When she goes above and beyond and does something very, very personal or goes too far, too below the belt in real life with people, then all of a sudden she'll pull that card as if it's going to save and protect her. But that may be something that we look at too in a future video is with the filing and response from 7M Films recently. They said, like, you're not a reporter, girl. You're not a journalist. You're not a certified anything. And because of that, there should be repercussions for her actions. And I agree. I agree. There's no certification there. She has not been recognized as anything to do with that. And I know that just absolutely killed her. That she doesn't get recognized for that. Sure. Has some articles called her a reporter, things like that. Yes. But at the end of the day, there is no certification there. She's not going to, you know what I mean? And that does matter, especially in defamation lawsuits and things of that nature. She's not certified. She's not signed up as, she hasn't done the work to become a professional anything. And that's what's going to hurt her. And one day it's going to catch up with her. I know she has her LLC, but that really doesn't mean much. Anybody could do that. I could do that. You know, it doesn't really mean that much, especially when you're doing things that you shouldn't do. And Katie Joy's done a lot of things that shouldn't be done. Some things are illegal. She has just gotten super freaking lucky with some of these situations. And again, I believe that one day it's going to catch up with her. That's just how I feel about it. I also love hearing the different perspectives of the kids because the show doesn't really show much of that. I agree, Kat. I agree. I agree. And I love hearing what Gwendyln has to say. Peyton, too. I always tune in for it. Those two, let me tell you, I love to hear what they got to say about things because I feel like when it comes to Sister Wives, they are the most open and honest. And both of them have said some stuff, you guys, that had my jaw on the floor. Like when Peyton was talking about Mary Brown and all the things that Mary had thought. That was bad. That was really bad. I was real mad. When I made that video, I was a little mad. Not gonna lie. No, you're here, girl. I'm so glad you made it. I'm sorry, I was running a little late. Story of my life. But let's keep going. Sorry, guys. Yes, even if you are a journalist, you still can't slander people. Absolutely. Absolutely. You just can't. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Access her channel. She can access my channel. If she wanted to leave a comment on my YouTube channel, she could. She could also email me, and I haven't received any emails from her. Truthfully, I think she's just being like hit up by the Kody haters and might just be feeling like wanting some camaraderie. I did say I wouldn't take anything directly from her Patreon, and I didn't.
I'm so sorry to keep pausing this on you guys, okay? But number one, why should Gwendolyn have to reach out to you for any reason? Why should any of these people you cover a report on have to reach out to you? No. That's not a thing. I don't know why she keeps saying that. Well, I do know why, because Gwen made the post saying she's blocked me on everything. So that's why she's doing it, to be like, no, I didn't. She blocked me. But it doesn't matter. She's staying focused on something that doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if Gwen blocked you or if you blocked Gwen. That doesn't matter. What you done to become blocked is what matters. How does she not like understand that? And again, the talking in circles and making excuses, it just makes her look worse. But I just wanted to say that. Excuse me. Also, the Kody haters. The Kody haters. She just has been, getting hit up by the Kody haters and wants some camaraderie. Camaraderie? Did I say that right? Camaraderie? Girl, this is always what she goes to. When anyone calls her out for doing something that is wrong, that is so wrong, especially as a professional reporter, whatever, it's wrong. Oh my goodness. She always tries to blame it on the Kody haters. And she says, oh, the Kody haters got to them. The Kody haters changed their mind. The Kody haters got in their head. They just want to impress the Kody haters. Okay. I seriously doubt that. We're talking about a community of, I'm just going to go on a limb and say maybe 10,000, maybe more. Nikki, give me your estimate. If you had to give an estimation on how large the Kady hater community is, what number would you put on it? I'm saying 10,000, but it may be a little bit more, a little less. But in hindsight, right, looking at the social media as an overall, we are a small community. You're going to tell me that Gwendyln, like reality TV star, well-known nationwide, wants some camaraderie and wants to be recognized by the Kady haters. That doesn't even make any sense whatsoever, to me at all, for such a small community. Gwendolyn made a little comment about, oh, we're going to start a hate page now. That was just her being snarky and being a smartass. So sorry for the clickbait, you guys, but it worked perfectly. I had to use it. But between Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, and IG, I'd say 20. Yes, I forgot the Reddit. That's a very good point. So yeah, and that's overall with all of them. And that's still 20,000 sounds like such a big number. But when you put it in a perspective, it's still a rather small community. So for Kady to act like all these people, all these reality stars that she does wrong, that she slanders, that she defames, they just want to be a part of the Kady hater club. No, ma'am. No, they may become haters of Kady, but it's because Kady does a lot of things to be, hated on. I mean, let's just be real about it. She does it to herself. It has nothing to do with the anti-KJ community. It has nothing to do with anybody here. It's a Kady problem. So that always gets me. When she says that, it just always gets me that she wants to try to put the blame on other people. She can never take accountability for when she does something wrong. In this situation, she's going to blame the community and she's going to blame other outlets for posting stuff, but not Kady. No, she did nothing wrong. People just expect her and they're just waiting for her to say things, and she owes it to them. She's just holding up to her reporter job, you guys. She's a victim, she's a victim in all this. Come on. I know raining on your charades, it's a lot. It's too much. It really is. Even if she is a journalist, she still can be sued for slander. Right. Oh, I think I may have already read that, but you're right. You're absolutely right. we're almost done with this. I just had to come on here, you guys. This is too much. And again, I will post the full video and source it in the description for those of you who have not seen it. If you want to go check it out and hear the rest of Kody Joy's hypocrisy. But let's finish this up.
I took things from TikTok and from Reddit when things were shared, or from Showbuzz Cheat Sheet. It was hard when things were coming out about her Patreon in the very beginning, because it was in the middle of the season and everyone wanted to know what everyone was saying. And so all these leaks were happening and I didn't want to be a part of the leaks. And then when stuff would get reported, people would want me to respond to it. And so then I inevitably would have to find it either in an article or through Reddit or through TikTok. And that's what I did.
And that's what she did, you guys. Again, upon her own admission, she admits that she went out of her way to find this stuff. And she went through whatever loophole, whatever situation she had to make it happen. Oh, thank you for becoming a member, Raining on Your Charades. We are so glad to have you. I hope you enjoy. I do plan on doing a members live very soon. I've been down with an injury, unfortunately, so it's kind of put me a little bit behind on content. That's why I'm very grateful for these live streams, you guys, because it's been the only way I can kind of keep up recently. Life's been a little crazy. No worries. I completely understand, girl. You know I do. So yeah, but I just wanted to come on here and just share this with you guys. And because I just thought it's so many different things. Number one, it is Kody Joy in true Kody Joy fashion. Number one, it's what she has always done best, which is, deflect, put the blame on other people, sit there and just contradict herself over and over and over and play victim. And then, and then you add it in with all the other stuff. And it's it's so icky feeling to me, because I can just see whenever she got that information that Gwendyln did share about her family, I can just see her sitting there so giddy, like, oh, I can't wait to share this. And there at the end, her saying, like, I went out of my way because I just knew you guys were sitting there just waiting for my response. And I owe it to you guys. I'm obligated to dig. I'm obligated to find the tea and share it with you guys. That's what I'm saying. She, on her own admission, admits that she's willing to go as far as she possibly can to break a story. And it doesn't matter what she's got to do that, whether that is lying to people, whether that's reaching out and trying to befriend people and become close to them like she did Lindsay Chrisley. Like, we've seen this over and over again. Kody Joy is going to find a loophole. Kody Joy is going to find a crack, and if she can weasel herself into it, she's going to. And it's sick. It's sick already. That's why she will never be taken seriously, because a journalist does research. A journalist looks into things. They do their research. They show proof. They show context. They tell a story. Kody Joy is something else. I don't even know what she is at this point, you guys, but she will never be taken seriously by the majority when it comes to her reporting skills, because of how she does it and the things. Her track record is just not a good one. And that's just the truth. And there's some things you can't come back from. I know her YouTube channel is growing. She's very consistent. She does put out some stuff. And I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying, like, she shares information. Like, I follow her because she shares personal, private information on these families that no one else does. But that always backfires on her. She's got the scoop, right? But it's a scoop that she should have never had. It's a scoop that's so personal, and she shares it so publicly, and it gets her in trouble every single time. Every single time. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying. I am going to do a little update. Like I said, a members live very soon. before this weekend's up, probably tomorrow. So stay tuned. If you're a member, stay tuned. I'm going to do a little post over there today and let you guys know for sure. Also, I do want to say before we go, number one, yeah, I know, Nikki, I agree. I agree. And I hate to have to even say that, but at this point, it's just so much. It's just so much. She isn't even a good interviewer. She backs her guests into the most awkward corners, trying to get them to name drop. You're right. I've seen it. I've seen that with my own eyes too. Or try to get them to admit to something that isn't true. That too. She'll be like, I know this happened. Why don't you just be honest about it? Just be honest about it. It's it's disgusting already. It was disgusting 3 years ago. And I gave her way too much credit in my last live stream because, like I said, I haven't been keeping up with her like that. But I seen this and I thought it was just like, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. Before we go, I do want to shout out all of my members, my lovely wallflowers. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all, everybody, for coming. I appreciate you guys. To the moon and stars. I do plan on doing another live stream tomorrow for the public as well, not just for members. I got another topic that I want to cover with you guys too, but I wanted to go ahead and get this one out of the way. Hear y'all's thoughts and opinions on it because I know you got them. So if you are just tuning in or you are part of the replay crew, please give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below because I love reading the comment section and engaging with you guys. And let me know what you think. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, tapping the bell, all the good things. That way you are notified every time I upload. And with that, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of it. It's so rainy here, so yucky. So if you've got sunshine, get some rays for your girl. And until the next one, mwah. Bye, y'all.